Welcome to this MMC 2022 voting information video. To get started, let's talk about the voting period. So the voting period opens March 11th at 1900 UTC. Please check Discord, etc. for conversions to other time zones. There'll also be some in the video description. And closes on Monday, that's March 14th at 1900 UTC. Again, check the video description for time zone changes and adjustments so you can figure out what it is in your time zone. When you would like to vote, you need to log into Neos. We have only voting inside Neos. If you don't have a Neos account, feel free to sign up. Get Neos, it's entirely free. Head on into Neos and find on the active sessions list the MMC Voting Hall 2022. Now we may have one hall open, or we may have up to 3 open depending on how busy they are, but they'll just be named numerically, so 1, 2, 3. Join whichever one is least full for you and head on in. When you head on in, you'll be in this world here. And I'm going to take you on a tour of it. It's quite small, but we'll take you on a tour anyway. So on the right, there are 5 voting booths, and on the left, there are 5 voting booths. You'll notice that you don't have an avatar in this world, and that you can't spawn things, and that you can't save things. This is just security, because we need to make sure that the votes are as secure as possible. We have a number of security mechanisms in the world, and on the services that run the world, to validate votes. But do note that any funny business whatsoever, including standing in here and encouraging people or incentivizing people to vote on your own entries, won't be tolerated. Your job in this world is to vote and then leave. We will be banning people that we see with any funny business, and they may be banned from future voting sessions, and if severe enough, banned from the entire competition. So come in here, vote, and go away. Advertising or showing off your entries in other worlds, that's completely up to you. That's not up to us in here, but in this voting world, we need to remain neutral, impartial, and, to be quite honest, boring, and that's why this world is quite boring. The idea is you vote and then you leave. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. So come in here, find an empty voting booth. Voting booths that have people in them will have a red no entry sign on the front of them when there is someone inside there with their name, and you won't be able to see their voting UI. Let's go ahead and pick the first booth here, the one on the right, and we'll head in. So in this voting booth, you'll see that the categories are on the left. You can also grab this up and down if your height is smaller or whatever, just for ease of use. Pick a category on the left that you'd like to vote in. The entries for that category will load. Pick one of them. Let's say we're going to vote on Captain the Steam Doggo here. It's going to open this up. We'll hit vote, and then it will say vote cast in avatars for Captain the Steam Doggo, and then push OK. You're done. That's a vote. You can go through all of the categories here, voting on as many entries as you like. You are not limited in the number of worlds that you have. Just keep voting on as many entries as you would like, and then when you're done, leave. You can also come back later, and you can come back later once you've viewed more entries or once you've made up some choices and vote. Once again, there are no limits to how many times you can vote. You can vote for every single entry if you would like, but the idea is that you vote for your favorite entries, and you don't vote for entries that you don't want to support. You can come back anytime. Make as many votes as you want. You cannot close, delete, change, or modify your votes. So once you've voted, once you're about to vote, make sure that you are clear that you want to vote for that particular entry. So just go through them all. Do remember to scroll. If you can't find an entry, you can search up here and have fun voting. It's quite simple. If you have any issues, do please let Medra or myself know, preferably via DM. Some of us might be in the world sometimes. You can speak to us if we're there, or DM us or the MMC channel on Discord. I don't foresee any major problems, as we've had quite a stable running of this world for 2 years running now. But things do get bigger and bigger, so who knows? So do let us know of any problems, and we can get stuff sorted. If there are significant problems, we can do things like, hey, manually count your votes or extend the period, whatever is required. So just let us know, and we'll get done. Make sure you go through all categories as well. They're all listed here. The subcategories are underneath worlds, other and avatars, and then the categories of no subcategories, meme, ESD, and art are also there. This whole UI should translate to Japanese and Korean quite well. Other languages are sort of patchy. It depends on the community contributions to the Neos localization process. If you'd like to see the MMC voting UI be more translated for next year, go ahead and get contributing to the Neos localization database, and that'll get those done. We did have issues with ESD and art this year, and that's because we just haven't had a Neos build that has those strings in it. So ESD and art are not translated, but I think they're quite easy to see. As they weren't translated, the vote success message also hasn't been translated, so that just says saved there. So if you see saved or vote cast, everything's okay. Those are really the only 2 changes, and those are just sort of lack of localization ability. And just go ahead and vote. Vote tallies will not be shared. Voting votes just sort of, they cover 41% of the score. So voting just goes into the judging process to decide on the winners. So don't expect voting tallies. Also remember, like I just said, voting is 41% of the 41? I meant 49. 49% of the total. What that means is that it is less emphasized than the final judging, so the entry of the most votes might not necessarily win. For those who are asking about the subcategories based on sort of number of occupants in the team, so small team, large team, we're not filtering those out on the UI. It would be too complicated to do that. So just vote for the entries that you like, and then based on those, we can slice those votes manually by how many people are on the team, which isn't data that this system has available to it. That's really all there is to it. Make sure that you leave your voting booth once you're done, and then disconnect. We had some issues last year of people disconnecting in the booths. I think I fixed that right now, but these booths run for like multiple days, so sometimes I have to come in, restart the world. Like I said, any problems, just let us know. Voting deadline is there at the end. If you can't find the world, I'll also be producing some additional information on how to get to the world. We had some sort of gadgets in NEOS Essentials last year. I believe that's everything. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments page, MMC 2022 channel on Discord, or blow up my DMs. I don't really mind. I will see you guys soon. I'll be judging, and then we'll be announcing the winners. I don't have the dates for that to hand, but they'll be in the video description. Bye-bye.